Okay, we are recording now. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen so that you can see what my computer looks like, and I'm going to show you how to log into Team Beachbody, where you can get the resources that you need to be able to meal plan. Give me just a second to do that. Okay, I can see right now, Shelby, actually, can you see my screen? Yes, okay, thank you. So I am going, if it'll let me. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to teambeachbody.com, and that is how you're going to get to your Beachbody on Demand. That's how you're going to be able to find your workouts to stream. That's how you're going to find the meal plan that goes with your specific program, and they are all pretty close to following the 21-day fix, but they all are just a little bit different. So make sure that you go into your program, and you don't have to do that right now, but at some point before Monday, go into your program and make sure that this matches what your program says that you need to be following. So whenever you get to Team Beachbody, you're just going to click on Beachbody on Demand, and that is going to, hopefully faster than my computer, take you into Beachbody on Demand. And then all of the programs that you have available are going to show up right here. Once you get here, you can click on the program that pops up that you're going to be following, and then it will allow you to pick the meal plan. I knew my computer was going to be slow, so I went ahead and have this pulled up. This is the 21-day fix meal plan. This is more than likely what you are going to be following. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to calculate what plan you are going to be following. And this screen right here shows you how to do that. That is why you need to know how much you weigh. So you're going to take the amount that you weigh, you're going to times that, times 11. You're going to add 400 to that. And then you're going to subtract 750. And I'm going to give you time to go ahead and do that for just a second, because it is important that you know where you fall before we get started. So once you have your answer, get that on your calculator or write it down on your paper or whatever you need to do. And then we will move on to the next screen. So again, in case you can't see that, you take your weight times 11 plus 400 minus 750. Okay, then we're going to go down here, and whatever number you have, you're going to fall, depending on the calorie target range, you're going to fall into plan A, B, C, or D. And that is going to tell you the amount of containers that you can have a day. So kind of check that out, see where you fall. The next thing, and what I'm going to do is basically show you what I do when I meal plan for my week, and we're going to kind of do that together. So the next thing that I do is I write down at the top of my paper exactly what I can have for the day. So I'm going to take a minute and I'm going to do that. I'm going to write down that I have, and I'm going to write green down, and I'm going to put 3, and I fall into plan A, but I sometimes follow plan B because I teach classes. So if I'm doing those 2 workouts a day, I bump myself up to plan B to make sure that I'm getting enough in me. So green, I get 3, then I put down my purple, and it's just really nice and helpful to have this all at the top of your paper whenever you're doing your meal planning. Red, yellow, blue, orange, and then I put teaspoon. I'm going to leave that up for just a second in case you're looking at that and you need it. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and start making my plan. So for me, that means I'm going to, let me stop sharing my screen so you can see me. And let's see. Okay. I am going to write Monday, and let me write this and then I'll show you what I do. Breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner. So this is what my paper looks like. I write Monday, breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner. Now I'm going to do Tuesday the same way. So kind of go ahead and do that on your paper. That way we're just going to fill the blanks in. That's what we do. And if you want to just do it until Friday for now, then you can fill Saturday and Sunday in when you get off the phone. So here is kind of when you're done, this is what my paper ends up looking like. And then I'm going to just start filling this in. So I'll give you a couple minutes here to finish that. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, and this is my favorite thing about Shakeology, is for breakfast every day, I'm going to write Shakeology in because it's just that easy. I don't have to think about what recipe I'm going to make or what I'm going to have. It's just going to be Shakeology. So on breakfast every day, I'm going to write Shakeology, and I'm just going to put shake for short. And then in parentheses, if you can see that, after it, I just put a red. I put R for red so that I know I've had one of my red containers that day. If you make your Shakeology with a fruit, like bananas or strawberries, or if you add something to it, then you can go ahead and put either fruit or banana or whatever you want next to Shakeology on your breakfast, and then put a purple. I do not put, I used to put fruit in my Shakeology, but I do not anymore because I like to be able to eat that. So that's kind of what mine looks like. I know it's hard to see, but I've just put a shake every breakfast for every breakfast, and I put an R behind it. And then again, if you add a fruit to your shake, go ahead and put whatever fruit you add, or if you just want to put fruit, write fruit down. If you add a milk, like an almond milk to your shake, then you're going to need to go ahead and put that down too. You can just write milk and put a yellow after it, put a Y after it. So for some of you, after breakfast, you have already put in your red, your yellow, and your purple, which is great. If you get to the end, when we're done planning like Monday, if you realize that, hey, you need to throw a fruit in there that you're short of fruit, then you can always start adding a fruit to your shake. So we have our shakedown. The next thing that I do is I plan my lunch, because typically I have the same thing for lunch every single day. I switch it up weekly, but throughout the week it's easier for me just to prep one lunch and eat that same thing for lunch. And then the next week I'll switch up what my lunch is going to be. I am using this for my lunch. If you have not heard of this, I would highly recommend it. It's the Fix8 cookbook. And it has recipes for lunch, breakfast, dinner, everything. And it shows you what portion control containers that they are. So I'm going to show you what I'm having for lunch this week. And I can take a picture of it and post it in the group too. So if you want to have the same thing, if you don't have this book, I know that a few of you do. Let me find it real quick. But it is a salad. No, that's it. Okay. So this Cobb salad, which looks yummy, is what I'm going to be having for lunch this week. And it tells me there that it is 2 greens, a half a red, a half a blue, and an orange. So I can go ahead now on all of my lunches and write down the Cobb salad, and I'll put 2 greens, a half a red, a half a blue, and an orange. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now for all of my lunches. And I mean, you can do it however you want, but I just kind of put it all. I put the Cobb salad, then after it, I just kind of put in parentheses what containers it takes up. So I'm going to go ahead and do that for all days for the lunch. And I think it's also really nice to have this if you have a job where maybe you go out to dinner or go out to lunch for work, and you're not going to be prepping or you're not going to be eating the Cobb salad that you made, then even though you may not be eating the lunch that you planned on eating, that you have 2 greens, a half a red, a half a blue, and an orange. So you know that you can kind of prep in your head that that's what you need to be eating when you go out to lunch, that you need to have something similar to that. Or if one day you just decide you don't want to have that, you know that you need to make something quick that has that same thing, because that's what you need for lunch, is those portion controls. I'm going to finish writing that down real quick. So again, that was 2 greens, a half a red, a half a blue, and 1 orange. And I will also take a picture of that recipe and share it in the team page in case you do want to go ahead and do that for your lunch this coming up week. Okay. Are we good? Thumbs up if we're good, if we need more time. Okay, all right. So far we planned our breakfast and we have planned our lunch. So now I'm gonna move on to my snacks, because for me, dinner is kind of where I throw what I have left together and where I put that at. So for a snack, I know I'm looking at it right now and I have not had any fruits yet. I haven't had any purples. So for my morning snack, I'm gonna go ahead and add some kind of a fruit. You can write down a fruit if you want. If you just want to if you keep fresh fruit in your house, you can just write down fruit and pick whatever you want that day, whatever works for you. But I'm going to go ahead and put fruit down and put a purple after it as my morning snack. And give me just a second. I'm going to turn some lights on here. There we go. So for my morning snack, I'm having fruit. I also have some yellows that I need to get in. So I think I'm going to add, if you have not heard of Ezekiel bread, it's one of my favorite things to eat. It's in the freezer section at the grocery store. So that's what I'm going to add in with my fruit. I'm going to have some Ezekiel bread with my fruit snack in the morning. And that's a yellow. And I keep it consistent every day. So I have the same thing pretty much for breakfast, snack, lunch, snack every single day. And then my dinner switch up. But then I switch it the following week, so it's different. But it's just easier to stay on track if you are having the same thing every day. Okay. So I go back up at this point and I look at how many containers I have left of everything, and I see what I feel like I need to add in. Reds are always something that's very hard for me to get in. So I make sure that I have a red as my shake for breakfast, a red for lunch. So I have some kind of a protein on my salad. This week it is bacon for me. I'll always have a protein for my dinner, and then I try to add a protein as a snack also. That can be, and you can look in your program guide for different red options. But for me, that's usually either 2 hard-boiled eggs or a yogurt, one or the other. And I do Greek yogurt. I don't do the flavored yogurts because they have a lot of sugar in them and a lot of other additives. So I just do the plain Greek yogurt, and I either add some honey or a spoonful of peanut butter. Sometimes I add both to it to kind of sweeten it up on my own. So I'm going to do eggs this week instead of yogurt, but that's going to be my second snack of the day. So if you want to find a protein to add in as your second snack of the day, whatever works for you, the yogurt or the eggs. Okay. So I'm going back up. And if you need an extra fruit at this point, so look at how many fruits, and let's go ahead and start with our purple containers and make sure we're getting them all in, because more than likely you're probably not going to have a fruit with your dinner. You may, but more than likely you need to get those fruits in before dinner time. So look and see how many purple containers you need for the day. And then we've got to start finding ways to put them in there. Maybe that's adding it to your shake. Maybe that's having fruit as a snack for your first snack and your second snack. So maybe you're also going to have a fruit in the snack. Or maybe that's adding a fruit to your lunch. For me, I need 2 purples, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm having that salad, and I'm also going to have, and all you do is you fill up this purple container. So I'm just going to fill up this purple container with strawberries for my lunch during the week. Or blueberries or raspberries or blackberries, whatever it may be. So I'm going to add a fruit to my lunch. And that's how I'm going to make sure I've got all of my fruits in for the day. And this doesn't have to be perfect right now. As long as you kind of have a general understanding of what to do, then you can change it up before you start your prepping. Okay, so I'm going to put a check mark beside my purple because I've got all my purple containers in, and I know where they're going to go and when I'm going to eat them during the day. Next, I'm going to go to green and look and see how many green containers that I've used. For me, I had 2 greens for the salad. So I now need to see how many additional greens I have. For me, that's 1. For you, it may be several more than that. That's going to happen at dinner time. So you'll know that you need however many vegetable sides to go along with your dinner, depending on how many vegetables you need. Or maybe for one of your snacks, you also add some carrots and hummus or something like that. And I know when we get these portion control containers, we think they're so small and that we're not going to be eating anything. And I bet some of you right now are looking at this and thinking, how am I going to eat all of this? But it is super important for you to eat all of this because you have to fuel your body correctly for these workouts. So even though it might seem like a lot right now, you have to make sure you're getting in these containers every day, because if you don't, then you get hungry in the evenings and then you're eating things that you shouldn't be eating. So it's super important that you're eating the correct amounts. So if right now you're kind of a little bit stressed about how am I going to fit all of these vegetables in, I don't even like vegetables, we can definitely chat some more about that. And throughout the group, we're going to be chatting and giving you tips on how to squeeze in and sneak those veggies in or whatever it may be that you're having to struggle with. But make sure that you message me and let me know what your struggles are so I can make sure that I touch on those in the group or just with you one-on-one. Okay, so I know for dinner that I need 1 green, and I'm just going to write beside dinner that I need a green. So all I did was on the other side of my dinner, I put a green. So when I get ready to plan my dinners here in a minute, I know that I need 1 green. And I'm going to go ahead and check green off. I'm going to go to yellow next, and I need 2 yellow containers. I had 1 for a snack. And if you need additional yellow containers, you can look at the yellow list and kind of maybe see, is there a place where you can add that to your lunch? Is there another snack that you can have that's yellow? I feel like yellows are pretty easy to get. So that probably isn't going to be a problem for anyone. If anything, I feel like people go over on their yellow containers. So just make sure that you're only having the amount that you should have. But I'm going to have it for dinner. And usually for me, it's a sweet potato at dinner is what I do. So I'm going to go ahead and add, I see Christina shaking her head. It's either usually a sweet potato for dinner for me, or if I switch my shake up, and now that I stay at home, and if you do work at home, maybe you might have your shake for lunch one day. Then maybe for breakfast, I'll have a sweet potato and some eggs and something like that. So you can always switch it up. And on Saturdays and Sundays, I switch it up a lot. Usually on Saturdays or Sundays, I'll have my shake as a mid-morning snack or my lunch or something like that. I won't have it for breakfast because I really like breakfast foods. I really like oatmeal and I really like my eggs. So I'll have it for lunch on those days. So that's another way to get a yellow too, is oatmeal. So if you're struggling with your yellows, maybe you might want to have oatmeal with breakfast and then have your shake as a snack after that on your way to work or something like that. So think of that too. So I'm going to go ahead and put a yellow next to my dinner because I know I need a yellow, and I'm going to check off the yellows. I have 4 reds, and right now I have my shake for breakfast. I have lunch, a red, and I think that's it. And then I have eggs as a snack for a red. So I've got 3 eggs in, 3 reds in. So I need to add 1 more red. And I'm going to write that down next to my dinner. So right now it's showing me like I need 1 red, 1 yellow, 1 green for dinner. So when I go to plan my dinners, I'll know what I have as far as the containers go. And I'm going to check off that red. I have not used any blues yet. Maybe you have. Maybe for a snack you want some almonds, or maybe you want some hummus with the carrots as a snack. Again, you can look at the list and see the different things that you can have for blues. I have not put any blues down yet, so I'm going to put a blue there. And usually it's pretty easy to get those blues in, like maybe cheese on top of whatever you're eating. That can be a blue for dinner. So I'm going to check. I put blue down next to dinner, and I'm going to check that off. I also have not used orange, so I'm going to put that next to dinner, and I'm going to check that off. And whenever I go to make my dinner, if I feel like I can't have all this, then I'll start adding it into different areas. So at this time, I know exactly what I need for dinner, and I'm going to start figuring that out. For me, that is either going to this book and getting recipes out of my Fix8 cookbook, which is usually what I use, or it's going to Pinterest. So I'm going to share my screen right now because Pinterest, I have a lot of things pinned on Pinterest, and I will share my Pinterest board to you so that you can have that if you want to use those recipes. Let me check our time real quick. Okay, we're doing all right. If you feel like you need to get off here, feel free at any time. It is recorded, so you can do that. But let me share my screen and hop over to Pinterest so we can start coming up with some dinner ideas. This thing is right in my way. There we go. Okay, so here is my Pinterest, and my board is called Healthy Choices. And almost all of these are Fix8 approved. So you can see I have meatballs, I have sloppy joes, I have chicken noodle soup. I mean, they're all really good recipes that my kids eat too. I mean, I do not make anything separate for my girls. They eat exactly what we eat. And they don't always love it, but they get over it. So this is what some cauliflower bites. So I'm going to decide what I want on Monday. And after I get off this call, I may change my mind, but as long as I keep it to the red, blue, yellow, green, I'm good to go. And let's see. I think on Monday, and I also go back and look at what our schedule looks like. Like if I know we have a lot of practices on Monday, then I make sure it's a crock pot meal. If not, then I know I can maybe grill on the grill or something like that. I love this slow cooked creamy Mexican chicken. So I am going to click on that. And I think that's what I'm going to have for Monday night. And I'm just going to show you 2 days of how I do dinner because I don't think you need to see all of it. And then if you need help with the rest of your dinners, I can help you with that. So I clicked on the creamy chicken. And let's see. Sometimes it has the portion controls. Yeah. So here it says it's a red, a green, a half a purple, and a yellow. So I know that that takes care of my red. That takes care of my green that I needed. That takes care of my yellow. And then a half a purple, I'm not going to stress about. Maybe whatever fruit I was going to have, like if I was going to have a banana, I'll only have a half a banana. But I'm probably not going to stress too much about it, and I'll just add that half a banana. Now, I don't have a blue, so maybe I'll add some cheese on top of that or something like that. I don't know. I'll just kind of play it by ear. But I'll write everything down. The important thing is that I have it all wrote down and all figured out as far as what I'm going to do. That way when Monday night gets here, sorry, I've got messages popping up. That way when Monday night gets here, I'm not stuck trying to figure out what containers I need and what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go back, and that's what I'm going to have on Monday night is that. So I'm going to go back, and I could say on Tuesday night, maybe I'm going to grill out, and I'm going to have chicken on the grill and a sweet potato for my yellow, maybe some broccoli for my green. I just figure out what I need, and then I plan my dinners accordingly. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead and share. I can share, I'm pretty sure, this entire board, so I'll share it to our group so that you have access to this board. That way, if I'm talking about a specific meal, you'll know what in the world I'm talking about. Something else that we really like in our house that's definitely, if you have kids, a favorite. Let me see if I can find it. It's mini meatloaves, and it's basically meatloaf, and it's Fix approved, but here it is. But it's made into little muffins. And I like these because for whatever reason, the girls like them. And also you can freeze them. So if you want to make a few, then you can freeze them and add them to your lunch as a red for the next day if you want to, whatever it may be. So here are the mini muffins that we make probably weekly and that we really like. So that, I'm going to stop my share real quick. Okay, so that is basically how I do my meal planning. I write down the amount of containers I need. I put down a shake for breakfast every day. I put down what I'm going to have for lunch. I figure out my snacks. And then I look and see what containers I have left over. That's how I make my dinner. And then if I still have containers, I figure out how I can plug those in throughout the day. Again, the most important thing is just that you have a meal plan, that you have something. Because if you don't have a plan to follow, you're not going to stay on track. It's just not going to happen because you're going to pull whatever you need. You're going to think you're having the right amount of containers. You're not going to be having the right amount of containers. So that is the most important. I would love to see everyone's meal plan posted by Sunday night in the page. And actually, I'm going to offer a prize. I'm going to put all your names in a hat for everyone that posts their meal plan, and I'm going to pull out a name and you're going to get a prize. But you got to have your meal plan and you got to have it completely completed. And honestly, it's better if you do it before Sunday. That way you can be prepping on Sunday and have everything ready for the week. Because not only is it important to do this, but it's important to have all your food prepped. It's important to have those salads that you can just grab out of the refrigerator every day. That way you're not running around in the morning trying to get it put together, and then you just decide to grab whatever else that you have that's easier. So make sure that we're doing this. That is all that I have. I am going to stop the recording, and then I'm going to open it up if anyone has any questions.